Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're gonna go over the full first touch training theory. So after this video you're gonna know exactly how to improve your first touch. Now first touch is very important and yet most players don't focus enough time on it. But the reality is that it's extremely important, especially on the highest level of professional football. If your first touch sucks, you're gonna have massive problems, so pay attention to this video. Now this is essentially a full blueprint on how I improved my once atrocious first touch. This is all information from our first touch training program, so you're really getting exclusive content here. So the least that you can do is like and maybe consider subscribing. If you're interested in the first touch and passing training program, check the link in the description. There is also a discount code. Okay, so let's get into the theory. Okay, so first touch consists out of 4 main components. We're gonna go over each one by one. I'm also gonna give you drills to practice for each component. Okay, so let's get into the first one. Okay, so number 1 we have ground first touch. So this is just simple passing and receiving the ball. Think of a drill like wall and partner passing. Now this is rarely used in the game, but it's a foundation for everything that comes later in the first touch theory. So we have a few drills here. We have a simple wall/partner passing and behind the cone passing. Okay, so how do you train ground first touch? Well, first it is important for every playing position. Second, start slow and then gradually build up the speed. This is especially important for the drill like behind the cone passing, which can be challenging at first. And then next thing is the focus on repetition instead of progression. So this basically means that you have to repeat those two drills over and over again. Later we will talk about progressions. But yeah, let's get into the second first touch component, which is directional first touch. So this is the ability to receive the ball in the open space. This is more game realistic and basically it's the ability to escape pressure. The goal when receiving the ball should always be to receive it away from the opponent into the open space, and this is what we're trying to do with those drills. So we have two very good drills for this, which are receive to the side and L passing. Okay, so directional first touch is very important for all the playing positions, but it's especially important for the midfielders who really have to perfect this skill of receiving the ball into open space. Now here you need to focus on repetition and progression, so basically repeat those drills over and over, but also progress them over time. So you can progress the drill like receive to the side into something like receive to side to a pass or to a dribble. If you want a training program with all of those progressions included, check the link in the description. And now let's go into the third first touch training component. Okay, number 3 we have first touch turns, so the ability to turn when receiving the ball. So a midfielder, for example, should always aim to turn when receiving the ball. This is very important for the transitions from the defensive to the offensive third. The key here is to be as efficient as possible, so take as few touches as possible, and this is what we're gonna be working on with these drills that we have. So we have 3 drills here: a regular turn, a diagonal turn, and a hexagon receiving drill, which is kind of a hybrid between turns and directional first touch, so it can be used for both. Okay, so as we have said earlier, this is very important for the midfielders, but also for the strikers who play with their back turned against the goal for most of the time. So important thing here, focus on repetition and progression. So how do you actually progress these drills? Well, you transition from just a simple turn to play. So basically, instead of just doing a simple turn, do a turn to pass or turn to dribble, same thing as with the receive to the side. Okay, and now we have come to the final part of our first touch theory. So number 4, we have first touch from air. This is basically the ability to receive the ball from air. So you have two options: you can trap the ball and stop it dead on the ground, or you can juggle it using multiple body parts, so chest, thighs and your feet of course. So you really have to perfect this technique, because in the game you don't have much time and space, and if you make a bad touch you can be sure to lose the ball. Okay, so drill examples: we have simple keep ups. This is something that every player should master. Next we have ball control from air, so kick the ball up in the air and then stop it dead on the ground. You can use the trap or the juggle here. And then last we have directional first touch from air. Same thing as before, kick the ball high up in the air and then receive it into a specific direction. Okay, so first touch from air is important for every position. You need to really focus while performing these drills, because like I've said earlier, in the game there is no room for mistake, repetition over progression, so focus on repeating those drills over and over again until they become ingrained in your memory. Okay, so how to train first touch? Train one skill per day, so one component per day. Start with ground first touch on day 1 and then directional first touch on day 2 and so on. Start with simple drills and then progress them into more challenging ones, but make sure that you master those simple drills first. Start slow and then increase intensity. So it's very important that you stay sharp at all times. Imagine you're in the game while performing those drills. If you want some training session, first touch training session examples, go check out the free 30 training sessions PDF in the description. And if you want a complete training program for first touch, again check out the description for our first touch and passing training program. This is it for the video. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.